Woo! What is going on, beautiful people? I hope each and every single one of you guys is having a phenomenal day today. So, guys, I want to introduce you and introduce myself to you, but welcome to the journey. Guys, I've had this idea for quite some time of just documenting the behind the scenes of what it takes and what has to happen and the kind of shit that you go through when you're on that grind every single day and you're working towards that insane level of success. So I want to plug you guys in to the behind the scenes, and since this is episode 1, then I just want to introduce you to me, tell you guys a little bit about my story, and then kind of share the idea of where I'm looking to take this thing, or as of right now, where I'm looking to take this thing. Obviously, this thing is going to evolve as it goes, but my name is Ricky Arellano. I am from Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm 25 years old, turning 26 in a couple of weeks, which is crazy. But, man, honestly, growing up, life was amazing, man. My parents are amazing parents, first and foremost. I've never seen them fight with each other. They always were very well at, dealing with their problems and handling that. So I didn't grow up in a violent, household or anything like that, which first and foremost is a blessing in itself. Second, my parents are extremely hardworking. They came to the U.S. from Mexico with a mission to provide a lifestyle for their family that they were not able to have, and they've done all that and more, man. Growing up, me, my brother, and my sister, we had everything and some, right? We were almost borderline spoiled, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm 25 years old. I haven't even bought my own car because my dad has always made sure I had one, which is nuts, right? So I always had everything, and which really, I don't really know what it did for me, but it kind of put me in a position where I wasn't really too worried about money, and I was always just blowing it, right? And so I was always growing up just looking for fun. I never really applied myself to anything and never really thought about becoming great at anything. And that was some self-esteem and confidence issues or whatever. But I didn't have to worry about money and taking care of people, so that just kind of opened it up for me to have fun. And literally, I was that guy growing up that lived for the freaking weekend, man. Like, that's what it was all about for me. That's all I cared about, having fun. If I'm being honest with you, it was like smoking weed all the time, doing some drugs at parties, drinking like crazy. Like, that's what I was all about growing up, throughout high school and college and things like that. But, what was crazy is that, I had this lifestyle growing up of having everything. And in 2006, 2007... when the economy crashed, it really just changed everything, man. Like, my dad works in construction, which pays very well when there's work, right? But when the economy crashed, there wasn't any work, and everything just turned upside down, where, I was seeing cars getting repossessed. I was eating the same things every single day, which now, like, I freaking hate eggs and I don't like sandwiches. Like, just don't even offer me that, because I can't stand to eat more. Again, cars getting repoed, having people in and out of the house, I guess evaluating the home or something to refinance it so that we wouldn't lose it. Like, my parents just doing everything possible, to keep us in this home and keep us fed. And it was like, again, it was like a 360, man. Like, not a 360, a 180. Because now it was like, instead of having it all, again, eating the same things, and, mom crying on Christmas because we don't have toys or whatever, like, crazy things. And I really, really, really wish I could sit here and tell you guys that I saw that and something clicked and I changed and I helped. But I didn't. I went the other route, and I just kept partying more, kept avoiding the issues, kept avoiding the problems. Again, living for the weekend, thinking life was all about having fun. YOLO was like the motto or whatever. Like, just being just flat out reckless, right? And it wasn't until, I graduated high school, and I, although I wasn't really like pursuing a career or working towards this being this extremely successful person, I also didn't want to be a bum. So I had to do something, but I didn't have a plan. So I went to college like everybody else told me to go, which I didn't really want to do in the first place. Like, yes, I wanted to be the first in the family to graduate from college to kind of set that example, but I didn't want to go through college. I don't want to keep studying. That's not what I like to do. But I had no other plan, and I wasn't just going to work the same job over and over that I got straight out of high school and work there until the day that I die. So I went to college, and I was able to go on a grant. So the government basically gave me like $6,000 a year to go to school, which was the only way I was able to afford it. So I went. But I think my second year in, you know, they saw that me and my wife made over $30,000, and I got married very young, by the way. But they saw that we made over $30,000, and they basically took it all away, man. Instead of giving me $6,000, they gave me $600. Which, if you've been to college, $600 ain't shit, right? You can barely pay for the books with $600. So I was put in a position where it's like, do I drop out because I can't afford it, or do I continue and finish what I started? And that's what I wanted to do. So I was forced to take out loans because I couldn't afford to pay out of pocket. And I've never been really good with finances. Like, I always get rid of my money and blow it super quick. So I didn't have any money laying around. So I got student loans, and I was like my third year at the University of Utah, almost $30,000 in student loan debt. Miserable. I didn't like the fact that I was in college. I didn't like how stressed out I was. I was also a full-time I also had a full-time job while I was a full-time student, and I was also an art student. Like, yeah, I would go to college and do, you know, that whole side, but I'm also not going to study something that I don't like and then do it for the rest of my life. Art is what I liked at the time, so that's what I studied. But there's not a bunch of jobs lined up for artists, right? Especially if you're not into graphic design and into the whole tech side of it. So 3 years in, I was seeing this. I was seeing our students graduate with no jobs lined up, working the same jobs that they had, kind of just hoping things work themselves out, which is horrible, right? After years and years and years and thousands of dollars just to hope for the best, that's not what I was told college was going to be like, right? So 3 years in, almost $30,000 in student loan debt, miserable, stressed out, absolutely no time for any kind of life. I needed something, right? And I was introduced to the idea of entrepreneurship through network marketing, where, you know, anybody from anywhere with any kind of background, any kind of experience can come on to this, this industry and make it happen. Like, doesn't matter who you are, you can just work your butt off and make it happen. And I fell in love with that idea. I fell in love with the idea of being my own boss, of writing my own hours and writing my own checks. And it was amazing. And it was through a health and wellness company. And I was 21 at the time. And, you know, health and wellness wasn't popping with my friends, right? None of us cared about our vitamins or anything like that. So although we were excited and we did create a little movement within 3 months of being in that first company back in 2014, made no money, right? But I learned so freaking much about entrepreneurship, about motivation. I completely changed who I was, like, from night and day. I don't even recognize who I used to be. Extremely motivated, extremely driven, extremely positive now, just ready to make it happen. Doesn't matter how long it takes, right? So I started in that company ended up getting investigated or whatever, so commissions stopped. Commissions that I wasn't even getting stopped, but the whole company had to get, frozen in its steps, like, just done. So we followed some leaders to another company, which was anti-aging. Again, a market that nobody around me cared. I was like 23. Nobody had wrinkles to worry about, right? And most of my team was younger than me, so none of us cared. And so we made no money in that, and then we got introduced to a Forex and crypto company, and that's where everything turned around. And I was introduced to some amazing mentors. So now we're like associating myself with millionaires is like a regular thing, which is crazy. But yeah, that's kind of an overview of my story, what I'm thinking with this. And so now I'm making money. I'm full-time now. I don't have to work my job anymore, and it's only getting better and better and better. People around me are making money. It's not just me, and the movement has grown to hundreds, not only in Utah, California, Canada, Mexico, South Africa. Like, it's really happening now. 4 years later, it's really happening now. But that's, although it's happening, I'm not to the elite level of success. I haven't hit 6 figures yet. So I think I want to start documenting the journey from now until 6 figures. And along the way, I feel like I'll share more about my story, more insight into how I'm living daily. I'll start introducing my wife, my son, my parents, and things like that, so you guys can start seeing what it's really like behind the scenes, the daily habits, the daily struggles, man. I really, really want to show the hard part of building your own business and being an entrepreneur and all that stuff, because I feel like it's so glamorized that when people start going for it and they hit a wall, or they doubt themselves, they feel like it's a done deal. Like, and it wasn't until I started talking to my extremely successful mentors, you know, one of them being Brandon Boyd, he was like, bro, millions of dollars later, I've still had days where I feel like quitting. It's still tough. Like, you know, obviously the problems are different now, but there's still problems and there's still challenges every single day. And it's normal. And that kind of just like, no, all this weight that I had, it just, I felt better. So I want to show you guys not only what it's going to take to achieve that level of success, because I'm getting it, right? So I'm going to show you guys what it's going to take to get there, but also what you have to go through, the growth that you have to do, the challenges, the obstacles that you have to overcome, disappointments, failure, whatever. I'm going to show you guys as much of that as possible. And hopefully, you know, you guys can get something out of this, learn something out of this. And hopefully I bring some real value to you guys. That's really my goal with this. And just have a lot of fun doing it, right? Vlogging, you know, my girl loves vlogs and it just looks super fun. So I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm really going to show you guys a lot of things, and you know, we'll see where this goes and where this grows. And I'm thinking for right now, I'm debating one of two things, right? I'm debating whether it's just kind of record it and upload it onto YouTube and kind of leave it as that, and then promote it once I make it big, once I hit those multiple six figures, and show everybody, hey, if you go back to my YouTube, it's all there. That's how it's done. Hopefully you guys get something from it. Or just start promoting the hell out of these videos now so that people can follow along the way while I get to that level. Don't really know yet. We'll see where it goes. As of right now, I'm just going to upload this. Whoever sees it, cool. Whatever. We'll see what happens. But, you know, for those of you that are watching, I appreciate you for watching. And let's go along for the ride. This is Journey Episode 1 with Ricky Arellano, a.k.a. Ricky Worldwide. And I call myself Ricky Worldwide because I am going to speak around the world. And you guys are going to see that happen. So let's get it.